Business strategy to business plan blueprint. Have you ever struggled to devise your business strategy? Have you struggled to write your business plan? Even more complicated than that, have you struggled to do both of these and make the two of them relate accurately to one another? That challenge is why I've created my latest course, which is Business Strategy to Business Plan. And it's very simply taking you through all the elements you need to devise your business strategy, but at the same time, it's showing you how to turn that into an effective and comprehensive business plan. It's coming in at just over 14 hours at the moment, so I've really not held anything back. And what I want to show you in this video is the main structural layout of the course, which is on this slide now. And essentially, you can see that there are three sections to it. There's the business strategy thesis, where I actually help you to understand what business strategy is all about. There's what I call the corporate strategy analysis, which is effectively working out what your business strategy has to be step by step for your business. And then there's the business plan synthesis, which is bringing it all together so that you can actually produce your business plan. But better than that, as you go through the course, step by step, there are assignments which help you to build your business plan as you're looking at the various sections which tie in to your business strategy. So it's really hands-on, it's really detailed, and it's really step by step. So I'm going to share with you then in this video the section introductions to every one of these sections so that you can get a very clear summary of what business strategy is all about, as well as a great introduction to the course. So there's a huge amount of value in this, and it's all with text on the screen. So if English is not your first language, you will be able to find this very easy to follow, because it's basically like having captions as I speak the words, and it's all been very carefully scripted. So let's get started right now. Let me take you through this step by step, and we're going to start straight away with the introduction to section 2, which comes after the introduction to the course. Business fundamentals, connecting business strategy to the business plan. Section learning objective. Discover the connections between business strategy, corporate strategy, and the business plan. The key objective of this course is to enable you to develop a detailed business strategy for a business, and then be able to convert that strategy into a business plan. The first problem is that a business strategy is an internal document and a business plan is for external consumption. The audience is different, the purposes are different. We will achieve our goal by making sure that we understand both the strategy and the plan, right up front, and then working through the course, maintaining the links between them. To start with, in this section, we are setting out to understand the main course objective, what we mean by a business strategy and a business plan. We also discuss corporate strategy, as this is an intermediate step between business strategy and the business plan. A full business plan template is available to download from the resources section of the business plan lecture. We take the opportunity to challenge your perspective of shareholder value, often, and we think mistakenly, a key objective of business strategy. We conclude this section by explaining strategic management, as this is a key framework for creating your business strategy. At the end of this section, you will have a clear idea of what we mean by business strategy and a business plan, and you will be beginning to understand how they eventually will be connected together. Business fundamentals, the value of strategic analysis. Section learning objective. Understand the main frameworks for strategic analysis and be able to complete a SWOT analysis. Section introduction. This section provides a high-level introduction to strategic analysis. We are deliberately starting from the beginning. We explain the main framework for strategic analysis and introduce some of the main business school models that you will be using throughout this course. You will become much more familiar with these as we go through the course. This section concludes with your first assignment, which is a SWOT analysis of Apple Inc. At the end of this section, you will understand the key components of strategic analysis that will enable you to start mapping out the initial outline of your business strategy. Business fundamentals, frameworks and theories business strategists must know. Section Learning Objective. Discover some of the key strategic business models taught at business school, providing you with a toolbox of frameworks to apply to your business strategy formulation. One of the most useful takeaways from my MBA was discovering business models and theories, which provided me with a toolbox from which I could tackle business problems. We have included this section to introduce you to an important selection of these, many of which we will return to in later sections of the course. Many of these frameworks overlap, and many benefit from being used in combination. There is no right answer here, just the challenge of using the model to examine the problem in front of you and seeing what insights you can discover by following through the systematic approach of the model or theory to shed light on your business. We explain why we think they are important and useful. If there are models you would like further explained, please reach out to us and we can add them to this section of the course. You will also find your second assignment, which is a quiz about the business models you are about to be introduced to. So, pay attention and then do the quiz without going back to look up the answers. How many points can you score? At the end of this section, your business strategy toolbox will be filled with a selection of frameworks and theories that you will be able to use as you work through this course and beyond. Critical Evaluation of Leadership. Section Learning Objective. This section invites you to think critically about the role of management and their skills. Their vision should be reflected in the vision statement. Section Introduction. An important part of strategy, its conception and execution, depends on the leadership of the organization. This is why this section is here. We want you to think critically about the contribution of the business leadership to setting the strategy and delivering it. Does the organization benefit from a visionary leader? We examine the good and bad traits of senior management and follow this up with a summary of the management skills we think are important. The management should be responsible for setting the initial direction of the strategy through their vision statement, so we discuss what it is and its purpose in our project. At the end of this section, you will have a new perspective on management and leadership, which will enable you to critically assess the leadership of an organization. Products and services and competitive advantage. Section Learning Objective. Our focus in this section is on the products and services of the firm and how to create a competitive advantage. Section Introduction. Now we come to the first major section in the course dealing directly with both the business strategy and the business plan. Note that the last lecture explains the content of the business plan and the headings you will have to cover. These can be downloaded as a PDF with the slide deck in the resources section. The main emphasis of this section is to identify how to create products and services which are competitive, have unique characteristics, and are differentiated from the competition. This is at the core of strategic advantage. So we discuss product differentiation, diversification, quality management, competitive advantage, and provide Bowman's strategic clock as a very useful framework to help you to think about the strategic positioning of your products and services in the market. The section concludes with the first business plan assignment, which will enable you to complete the products and services section of the business plan based on what you have learned in this section. Use the business plan template which is provided to do this. At the end of this section, you will be able to understand how to strategically position a product or service in the market and have the frameworks to understand the key aspects of competitive advantage. Competition. Know your enemy. Section Learning Objective. This section is dedicated to understanding the competition our firm faces in the marketplace and uses some classic models to assess this. Section Introduction. If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. If you know yourself but not the enemy, for every victory gained, you will also suffer a defeat. If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle. Sun Tzu. Understanding your competition is one of the key steps to creating an effective strategy for your business. We therefore have focused this section on mastering this aspect of not only your business strategy but your business plan too. Look out for the tie-in lecture at the end of the section. We introduced the Boston Consulting Group Matrix here, a key tool as relevant today as ever. We bring in Michael Porter's 5 Forces model, an absolutely essential tool for understanding competition in an industry. We discuss different aspects of competition, intensity, and the business life cycle. The business plan assignment, which concludes the section, will enable you to address the competition section of the business plan, armed with the models and information contained in this section. At the end of this section, you will have the ability to complete a strategic analysis of the competition in and around your own business. This will enable you to describe it in your strategic planning and draw insights about the steps you need to take. You will also have the context for your business plan contents and the headings under which to evaluate your competition in your business plan. External strategic analysis, industry, markets, and competition. Section Learning Objective. This section moves beyond the immediate threat of competitors to review competitive conditions in the whole of the external marketplace and brings in context from the industry as well. Section Introduction. You need to have an objective perspective beyond the walls of your office. This means understanding your industry, your marketing, your regulatory environment, and yes, even more about your competition. We develop these themes in this section. Firstly, we introduce more frameworks to help you understand how to tackle this problem. We explain why you need to analyze your industry and then dive into a series of models to help you to do this. Pest analysis, business and funding life cycles, value chains, the total addressable market, market segmentation. We take the bargaining power of suppliers and customers out of Michael Porter's model and look at them in greater detail. Of course, the section ends with a tie-in lecture which provides you with the relevant sections of the business plan template we are working with. The business plan assignment will enable you to complete the business plan industry, markets, and competition section and enable you to draw on the models and frameworks you have just been introduced to. At the end of this section, you will be armed to the teeth with external analysis tools to enable you to look at this aspect of business strategy from a number of different angles. Remember that each one of these provides insights and their collective value exceeds that of any one model used on its own. So use them all. Internal strategic analysis, operations and customer management. Section Learning Objective. In this section, we turn our attention inwards to the operations of the firm, focusing on all aspects of operations but keeping a close eye on customer management. Section Introduction. Having looked outside of the firm, it follows that we should turn our attention inside now and look at the business itself more closely. Business operations can cover a wide range of activities, so we share with you what we think they mean. We introduce you to the Business Model Canvas, one of the most useful strategic analysis tools out there. We love it, and we know that you will too. Our discussion then turns to corporate structure and organisation and a review of operations. Do not be afraid to challenge the status quo. Just because this is how you do it today does not mean that there are not better ways out there. You need to think and we provide the tools to enable you to develop the insights and critical faculties you will need. We have to address the challenge of e-commerce, and we discuss the hybrid click and mortar approach as well as different e-commerce business models. The final lecture ties in the business plan headings, as I hope you have now come to expect. The business plan assignment completes this section, enabling you to add further to your business plan and cover off the internal operations section. At the end of this section, you will be critically evaluating how your business is organized. Why do you do things this way? Can you do some things or everything differently and better? The key to good strategy is not being afraid to challenge the status quo and ask difficult questions. We hope you are starting to do this. Welcome to the Awkward Squad. 6-Minute Strategist SWOT Analysis. Section Learning Objective. Use the templated scorecards to carry out a SWOT analysis of your business, and use the frameworks we have discovered together throughout the course. Section Introduction. This is an assignment to challenge you to review your business using the SWOT analysis model, using what you have learned so far in the course. This is a management tool I devised to help clients think objectively about SWOT analysis and their business. I also hope it's fun to complete while you think about your business and fill in the scorecards. This is an opportunity to apply the models and frameworks that you think best apply to your business to complete the exercise. Better still, convene your management team and do the exercise together and discover the ranges of opinions that will become apparent in the discussion you have following the completion of the assignment. Following the guidance of the video and slide deck, this assignment is designed to encourage you to think strategically about your business. There are dashboards and scorecards for each of 6 strategic areas which I challenge you to complete. At the end of this section, you will have had a chance to practice using the business models we are uncovering in the course and to discuss their applicability to your business. This may result in you making some revisions to your draft business plan. You have been warned. Customer Value Proposition. Section Learning Objective. We focus on the importance of the customer and how a firm can add value to them. Understand the customer value proposition as a central core of your strategy. Section Introduction. The only valid purpose of a firm is to create a customer. Peter Drucker. Now we are getting deeper into strategic analysis by applying what we already know and focusing on the customer to see how we can ensure that the firm positions them front and center of the business strategy. The customer value proposition is a very useful concept when trying to connect your products and services to providing benefits for your customers. We discuss market positioning, profit models, and introduce Hax's Delta model to help you to connect your business strategy to your customers. You need to develop an effective customer strategy, so we explore switching costs, the customer experience, and the customer journey. Horrible name, very effective framework. Of course, we tie this into the business plan in the last lecture for you. The business plan assignment in this section will help you to complete the customer section of your business plan. At the end of this section, we believe that every business has to get very serious about serving its customers. We think that you will believe this at the end of this section too. What is more, you will be equipped with the strategic tools and frameworks to evaluate this challenge effectively and make decisions about your own business. You will also know how to transpose this to your business plan. Sales and Marketing Strategy. Section Learning Objective. To develop some frameworks to apply to your sales and marketing strategy and to help you to make sure that you get the best return you can on your marketing investment. Section Introduction. At the end of the day, if you don't sell, you don't have a business. Sales and marketing often filled with fast-talking and often ineffective salesmen, is a core part of your business strategy delivery, so we had better discuss this with you. From the starting point of the classic 5 Ps of marketing, we discuss planning, the difference between push and pull, you need them both, and then we dive into the psychology of selling, but only at the shallow end. AIDA and the progressive sequence of 9 agreements will help you to think critically about your marketing messages and how you communicate with your customers. Pricing strategies are more complex than you would think. Take a look at the lecture and you will see what I mean. Don't forget to get your briefing on how to complete your business plan in the last lecture. The business plan assignment helps you to draft the next section of your business plan, sales and marketing. Use the headings in the assignment or alter them to suit your business, and don't forget to apply what you've learned in this section about sales and marketing. At the end of this section, you will be asking your sales and marketing director some difficult questions. Don't forget to tie this section back into some of the things we've already discussed: competitive advantage, market positioning, and the customer value proposition, to name but 3. This section, more than most, is a bridge that spans a number of sections both here and in your business strategy, so think holistically and do not put each of these topics in separate and isolated silos. Digital Business Strategy Transformation. Section Learning Objective. To understand the framework you need to deliver a successful digital strategy using my unique digital transformation framework. Section Introduction. Welcome to the 21st century. When I did my MBA back in the early 1990s, much of what we discuss here had not been invented. This section is here to challenge you to think about how to harness the power of digital business for your strategy. Many firms only pay lip service or adopt 1 or 2 aspects of digital entrepreneurship for their organization. I want to encourage you to go all in. I'm sharing with you my personal framework for digital entrepreneurship. We challenge your skills and ask whether you have the assets you need. I share an overview of the entire framework and then build it up for you step by step. Customer centricity, customer experience, channels, engagement, digital skills, and tools and resources. We finish the section with an assignment to keep you thinking. Want to know more about it? Go take a look. At the end of this section, you will have an entire digital framework to apply to your business, and ask yourself how we are meeting our customers' expectations online. This really is the future, and the future has already arrived, so I think you should make sure that you and your business have too. Finance. Understanding financial statements. Section Learning Objective. To understand the 3 main financial statements, the income statement or profit and loss account, the balance sheet, and the cash flow statement, and how they fit together. Section Introduction. Now we are really getting down to the nitty-gritty, as they say in Yorkshire. Business strategy and business plans are meaningless if you can't manage the numbers, so we are going to spend this section and several to follow working through the financials. You will need to understand the importance of how the financial statements are prepared, that they are not cash accounts but use widely agreed principles in their preparation, which help to give a true and fair view of what is going on. We are talking GAAP. To start with, we're going to focus on the financial statements and help you to understand what they are and how to understand what they tell you. We share some key metrics with you, very helpful for day-to-day management, and finish with a case study using our favourite company, Apple, as an example. Of course, we explain where the finances fit into the business plan too. The assignment at the end of this section focuses on the preparation of the financial section of your business plan. This is much more than just the financial statements and invites you to start building in your financial forecasts and the assumptions underlying them. At the end of this section, At the end of this section, you will be able to read the income statement, balance sheet and cash flow statement. You will have been introduced to some techniques for interpreting them, and you will have had a chance to review the case study we have prepared. Finance, Strategic Financial Analysis. Section Learning Objective. To understand the key financial ratios that apply to the income statement, the balance sheet and the cash flow statement to enable you to interpret the financial information in these statements. Section Introduction. Now we move from understanding to analysis, from comprehension to interpretation. We introduce the major ratios for the three main financial statements, and, to look ahead a little, we also bring in some valuation ratios as these seem to fit well here. Both on their own and by using ratios which reach across the three financial statements, you will be able to ask and answer strategic questions about performance, liquidity, and efficiency and growth. At the end of this section, you will understand the power of financial ratio analysis and the fact that it enables you to make comparisons between one company and another, even if they differ widely in many aspects of their business. Learn to listen to what the numbers tell you. Financial Analysis, Case Study and Assignment. Section Learning Objective. Use a real case study to analyze real financial information using the ratio analysis explained in the previous section. This is followed by a discussion of the case study and its results. Section Introduction. We follow up the previous section on ratio analysis with a detailed assignment to help you to use what you have just learned using the figures from a real company. Yes, we're back at Apple. Once you have completed the assignment and marked yourself, I will take you through the assignment one statement at a time and help you to further understand what these ratios are telling you. At the end of this section, you will feel confident enough to open any 10K report or a report and accounts in the UK and do your own financial analysis. This will empower you to measure performance of strategy against objectives and ask all the difficult questions you like. Strategy Analyzer Assignment. Section Learning Objective. A fun exercise with a serious purpose. This will help you to evaluate the achievability of your strategic goals when compared to your predicted rates of growth. Section Introduction. This assignment has been designed by me to get you to reality check your strategy objectives. By now you must be firming up the direction you want to take your business in and where you want to be in 5 or 10 years' time. My question to you is, can you get there? This assignment, quick and easy to complete, will help you to answer that question. You may have to go back to the drawing board or come up with some more aggressive growth strategies. At the end of this section, you will have a perspective on whether your strategic objectives are too ambitious or your growth plans too conservative. Lucky then that we're going to take a look at goal setting, performance management and growth strategies in the next 2 sections. Business Fundamentals, Goal Setting and Performance Management. Section Learning Objective. Performance management is a key part of every successful business strategy and plan. We provide some frameworks to help you incorporate these into yours. Section Introduction. We explained at the start of this course that once you have a strategy, you need to be able to assess whether it has been delivered successfully. This means making sure that your goals and objectives can be measured. We introduce the SMART goal methodology and explain the importance of key performance indicators and strategic dashboards. We discuss corporate performance management, the Objectives and Key Results OKR framework, and explain the benefits of time series data evaluation in the year-over-year lecture. In the assignment, you will be invited to complete the corporate reporting section of your business plan, which will also give you an opportunity to reappraise your current reporting methods using some of the techniques you have learned here. At the end of this section. At the end of this section, we hope you will be thinking about how you can keep your key managers accountable and their performance measurable. One of the keys to getting to your destination is having a roadmap against which you can check your progress as you travel, and being able to explain the type of transport you will use to get there. Business Fundamentals Growth Strategies. Section Learning Objective. Growth strategies will help you to think strategically about how you can execute your strategy and plan to achieve the goals and objectives you are setting for your business. Section Introduction. This section is all about implementation. You have by now established your vision and your strategic goals, but you may be struggling with the execution part of the strategy. In your business plan, you will need to explain how you are going to achieve your plan, not just what it is. The first starting point is whether you can do what you need to do with your existing resources, organically in other words. We also touch on the power of first mover advantage. Who said you are not allowed to innovate? We also discuss the importance of scalability in a company, which is a key concept when growth is often assumed but can be very difficult to deliver. Then we take a look at other growth strategies which involve buying growth, mergers and acquisitions, buy and build. But what if things don't go well? We have your downside covered when we discuss negative growth scenarios. We also take a look at some post-COVID-19 business strategies. Don't forget the all-important business plan tie-in at the end of the section. At the end of this section. At the end of this section, you will have some strategies to help you to deliver both organic growth and accelerated growth through acquisition. We also cover you if things don't go well. Valuation, funding, exits and returns. Section Learning Objective. To understand what factors are important to your investors, specifically valuation, funding, exits and returns. This is a critical section of the business plan. Section Introduction. This section addresses a key section of the business plan, which is often presented to potential external investors. It also follows up with some essential content if you conclude that you can only grow and achieve your targets through acquisitions or by bringing in external funding. We help you to understand, in outline at least, the methods that are used to value businesses. You can expect your investment banking advisors to be really good at this, but at least you should be familiar with the main techniques so that you can look smart in front of them. We outline the main sources of external funding and the stage at which these investors choose to invest to help you to ensure that you are addressing the right audience for your business. There is quite a lot of technical detail to cover, and we try to hit some of the most important aspects of this by taking a look at pre-money valuations, pitch decks, sources and uses of funds, and the capitalization table. Investors always want to know how they are going to get their money back, so we discuss exit strategies here too. We also encourage you to be transparent about your transaction costs. This section has 2 business plan assignments which cover funding and returns and exits. All the business plan headings are provided for you as usual. Just use those applicable to your business and add some additional headings if you need to. It's your business after all. At the end of this section. At the end of this section, you will not be an expert M&A investment banker, but you will be able to have a more informed conversation with one. How do I know? Well, it's what I've been doing for the past 30 years. I expect this section will grow as you start asking me challenging questions about this topic. Risk Assessment. Section Learning Objective. You will need to include a risk analysis in your business plan, but you should have been thinking about these since the SWOT analysis at the beginning of the course. Section Introduction. In this section, we are encouraging you to revisit all of the sections of your business strategy and business plan to highlight the risks that you anticipate for your business. The business plan assignment ties this directly into your business plan by helping you to draft the risk assessment section. You will by now be familiar with the format, with our usual outline of headings, but you should feel at liberty to customize these as you see fit. At the end of this section. At the end of this section, you will have a better grasp of some of the downside risks facing your business, and this may stimulate you to adjust your business strategy and business plan to mitigate the potential effect of these. Business Plan Synthesis. Section Learning Objective. Bring your business plan together. To the drafts you have completed in the assignments, we now add the remaining missing sections to complete your business plan. Section Introduction. This is really a wrap-up section for the business plan to show how it maps back to the business strategy and to focus in on some specific sections which don't automatically dovetail with business strategy. We have provided a business plan synthesis which brings together the business plan topics and reconnects you with them in the sections of this course. Remember too that each section of the course ties in the business plan so that you can map this either way as you work through the course. The executive summary of the business plan is probably the most important section. It's certainly the most read. It is also the last section to be written, but we are flagging up its contents right up front so that you can scope your executive summary content as you go. Remember, every business is different and every business plan is different too. These headings and sections can therefore be amended, adjusted, or deleted as you see fit. It's your business and your business plan. Do not be constrained by our framework, but adapt it to your needs. Some of the sections of the business plan summarize the business and what has gone before. We therefore address the history and background section of the plan here so that you can write it up and slot it in when you're ready. The same goes for the factual information about the management team and the content of the appendices, our headings for which are only recommendations. We have added some bonus lectures to help you with the detailed preparation of your business plan, a key questions checklist, a reminder on audience targeting, and a lecture to help you refine your plan to suit the type of business you are operating. There are 4 business plan assignments at the end of this section, drawing together all the loose ends. We will help you to address the history and background of your company, the section relating to your management team, and assist with the compilation of your business plan appendices. The final assignment takes you right back to the start of your plan to complete your executive summary, a distillation of all the major parts and key points of your plan. Once you have completed these 4 assignments, you will have drafted your business plan from start to finish. I say drafted because I'm sure you're going to want to revise it as the lessons of this course sink in and your business strategy itself is refined. At the end of this section. At the end of this section, you will now have all the business plan sections covered off, and if you have been following the course through systematically, you will be in a position to put your business plan together as well as have a fully developed and carefully thought out business strategy. Congratulations and well done. So, that's it. I hope you found these little videos, which I've put all together, helpful. I hope it's given you a really interesting understanding of what business strategy and business plans are all about. Now, depending on when you're watching this video, you can either pre-register for this course by clicking on the link below the video, or if you're watching this after the course has been published, if you click on the link, I will have changed it and it'll take you straight to the course itself. You can then decide whether you want to enroll, but I really hope you do. I've spent about 6 weeks putting this together, and I really look forward to seeing you in the course. So that's it, business strategy to business plan blueprint. Even if you don't enroll, I hope you found this video extremely helpful.